And the idea of the interest exercise is because I was feeling that there was an awful lot of people that simply just weren't doing it. I asked a few days ago if everybody had these key levels written on the screens. I asked a few days ago if everybody had the level 2s marked off and if they could have some of the level 2s and if we had some of the level 1s, did you know that that was the measure move? And I think it was Melvin actually posted a chart to show that he had the various things drawn on the screens, but it was the only positive response we had at that stage. Maybe just people just never replied, but it was the only positive response, so that's all I can go on. It's the only thing I can go on because I can't see the screen. I can't see what your guys are doing. So on the basis that I had no other positive responses bar Melvin's at that stage, I'm assuming the majority, and it is an assumption of course, the majority simply aren't doing the basics. And that means you're missing out on massive pieces of information. That means we've got to go back to basics ourselves. We've got to go back to the basic processes, haven't we? And the basic processes is the tape reading skills. It's the auction process. It's the ability to spot the various trades. It's about trying to find the stuff that simply makes sense about the pace of the auction and the weak buyers or the weak sellers. So when we look at, for example, that bond sell-off, where did the bond sell-off come from? Take a look at that chart and tell me the immediate trade you see on that screen. The basics, right? What immediate trade do you see on that screen? I say I don't see any trade in the screen. Exactly. Because you're not actually up to speed with this process yet, are you? You've never actually managed to get to the point where it becomes just simply dead easy to spot trades. If you can't see exactly where the immediate trade is on that screen, well, you're in trouble. Because if you're having to look for things, it means that you're behind the trading curve. You're behind the book, you're behind the trade, and your execution will be way off the mark. Can anybody immediately see the trade? Immediately, it should be dead obvious to you, because your eye should be drawn to the keys. Your eye should be drawn to the keys. So for me, working from the left, there is one incredible easy money trade. We had a fast move down. You see the speed of that toxic move down? You see it? Well, my first gut feel is I need to be a seller. Agreed? I need to be a seller. My second piece of the information is, well, we want to make sure we're getting a bearish auction. We've got the bearish auction. Now I need to make sure we're getting a very poor buyer's auction. The first candle's bullish. And then we start looking at that candle, we time out. We look at that candle and we time out. We look at that candle, we time out. We look at that candle, we time out. And then we look at that candle. And we don't time out. We see the book actually goes bearish on that candle. Do you see it? Do you see the tie-in? The book actually goes bearish on that candle at the same time as we don't time out. And we get a brilliant opportunity to sell bonds right there, don't we? And we've got a weak buy, a weak bottom edge here. So we've got a weak buyer at the bottom edge who's achieved nothing. So we're going to go after that guy right there. And we went after that guy and we made our profit right there. Does that trade not stand out to everybody after this whole week's worth of classes? It should be almost instant that you see these things. And if it's not, guess what? You haven't done enough trade experiences. I always make the assumption that everybody can see these things, but that's assuming everybody's done the necessary trade experiences to spot that trade a mile away. That is a walk in the park bit of business there if you just read the tape. Think about what happened to the tape. Think about what happened to that tape. If you were watching it from the tape, you'd see this here and you'd see a sell order. And then you'd see sell order, sell order, sell order, right? You just get this series of sell orders. Sell order, sell order, sell order, sell order, sell order. The tape would be red, 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 red. Thousands of sell orders, right? Thousands of sell orders coming in. as the price drops down, as the tape is just lit up. So you can see that process, and then what happens? Two-way money, so you'll get some sell orders. Remember, the tape doesn't have a direction, it's just simply a line, so you get a green bit of tape, and then you get another red bit of tape, and then you get a green bit of tape, and then you get a red bit of tape, and it kind of meanders back towards the top line again. And then we see the green tape getting jammed, don't we? We see the buyers coming in, the buyers coming in, and the buyers coming in on the tape, and we see that the price hasn't changed. And the reason why the price hasn't changed is because we look at the depth of market and we see a book transition taking place right there. That's why the price hasn't changed with those buyers now. And I look at those buyers and I say, I've got somebody to sell to. Wonderful, right? I've got somebody to sell to. And I can now take that deal and I can run the price. A fantastic, unbelievable transition in that activity right there, right? Fantastic, unbelievable activity opportunity. Did anybody get the retest sell at 8s and 9s again there? There was a brilliant trap buyer again. I'm pretty sure you did, because it's exactly the same trade as the last one. I'm hoping Stuart got it, because it's as good a trade as the last one. It was definitely as good a trade, so I'm hoping Stuart at least got on board. So big trap buyer at 8s and 9s, and you've just swept it down to the 4s. Remember, we thought the price would probably trade 41 handle at the cash open. And there's 4101s, guys. We thought it would trade 41 at the cash open. It's just traded 4101s. Not a bad call, is it? Not a bad call. Now, what did the dealers do when it hit 41s? The dealers bought it, didn't they? Well, not really. They didn't really buy it, did they? They got it down to the bottom edge. What they're doing is they're filling in behind it. They didn't actually buy the drop, which is a little bit worrying at this stage. But they certainly, they weren't willing to let it go, and they've joined in behind the trade. So still, turned out to be a good one. And nothing wrong with that, my friends. Nothing wrong with that.